Alright guys, it seems we're finally ready for some Phoenix Rising. There are some pretty tropical temperatures outside, which is not entirely normal where I live, so currently I'm completely getting grilled. We can only speculate if I'm gonna survive this episode. And isn't that just very fitting to today's occasion of listening to Phoenix Rising with this like flaming cover art and stuff? I don't know, perhaps it is. Of course we don't want to contain our excitement because there are some really great songs in some pretty nostalgic territory for me at this point. Already starting off with Tear Off Your Chain, that is probably already one of my favorites. So yeah, anyway, I'm fresh, I'm excited, I'm still alive. Let's try to get through those songs. I don't know if you can see, but I'm like already sweating and all. It's pretty freaky. Perhaps just put those on. Okay, we have some triplet groove going on here. Oh, yo, that's Bob already. Holy sh... The trumpets are back. Okay, you... Dude, that was an intro if I ever heard one. It kind of reminded me of something. I think it was the very first intro song of the first album, where they had this kind of narrative going on, right? It was a cool, I think, heroic melody, something like this. There was also this growled narration, but I think there's a difference between the death growls. I don't know, they sounded better here. Perhaps it's again the production, right? I could imagine Shu's growls here being simply part of a like pagan metal song or something. We have to remember to actually look at the lyrics of the song. I hope they are rolling out a bit of a narrative here again. That was always something that I really enjoyed. They drifted off to those rather personal themes for quite a while now, so having a bit of a grander epic narrative would actually be a really cool idea, but I honestly don't know if they're doing it here. I see the glasses thing doesn't work because I just like to headbang too much. I believe you could already sense that this is gonna be a good vibe album. We're just gonna go a bit back here, and since this is a playlist, the next song should immediately continue. So let's just try out that. Ja, neoclassical. The vibes here. Right, this song is so fast I didn't even remember. It's a really fast song. And just through this immense switch like of patterns and this fast moving on between segments, they have all these atmospheric and grand elements, but leave them almost no screen time because it's moving so fast. And this creates just a really interesting effect. It feels really tight and just a lot of fun actually, melodically and stuff. You're loosening a bit up with the violins.
Let me tell you something just about. Let's sing a dance all night long. I got a magic of miracles. I take you to the heaven. I will give the blues to try you believe on. Are you trying to ride? Do you feel really so?
Opening up with these neoclassical arpeggios.
I can't win anymore, you don't need to refrain. Let's make us more and more, it doesn't come again. You must have the change shaking your brain.
The vibes are hitting. Then at the same time, I don't think the chorus is the strongest part of the song. We're gonna see a bit more of that.
The change shaking your brain.
It's very tight chucks there. We're sinking into something. And here goes up again. Something powerful. Look, I'm gonna spoil that right off the bat. This solo section and this song is probably one of my favorite solo sections of ALL Galneryus, right? I'm not saying there are no better solo sections, of course, but it's just like very fun. It has a really cool atmosphere. Yeah, let's just go into it, I guess. The trumpets, right? And how the guitar slips here. Ethereal keyboard solo somewhere up there. Freaking licks. Right? The drums. The frickin' drums. Now transitioning back to the main theme. Little turn to the dramatic there. Very well appreciated, you know, after these high, brighter, energetic moods. Just little turn to more dramatic mood. Bit of the sparkle of the harpsichord again. Gaining momentum. No. Gets me every time. Classic Galneryus violence there in the background. So you notice the especially the guitar always had these like spirals, either having these weird upward runs or like dropping downward. Was kind of like an idea of spiraling out of control, I would assume. Really fitting. But at the same time, like there's a lot of energy in the song. I think a lot of like cool, vibrant moods. Very melodic. It's very speedy. It has a lot of cool grooves in it. And the solo section is just really epic. Like I totally like the atmosphere, and it does some things I think no other song does, right? I mean, if you have the keyboard solo there, for example, like aesthetically, right, we don't have this medieval atmosphere we had in like early Galneryus sometimes, Beyond the End of Despair. Like in the early trilogy, right, it was something rather medieval feeling, I would assume. Here we almost, like in the solo section, it always had a sort of gladiator themed thing to me, sort of like the Roman pantheon going on there. Honestly, we could listen to the entire song again, but just let's do the solo section again. Sounds very warm and bright and I love those trumpets every time. It's so cool. The swinging mood, right? The swinging mood, and also it seems like some, you know, powerful divine energy is like coming down to you at the same time. Or you're rising up to something epic, I don't know. Yeah, it's rather that, I guess. And now somewhere up there. There's also such a cool keyboard solo. He has the heroic element. Double picking. How it goes up and down and that's actually such a cool progression because you don't know where it goes next, right? Of course, he just goes up and down, but he chooses very fitting like licks for that, and then it just gradually dissolves into this chaos when the guitar and the keyboard play at the same time. Oh man. When you hit that peak there. And now it gains maximum chaos. And just like one last thing, like how it drifts off in the end, right? It rises up all the time, then it like suddenly starts to fall down. And this falling down transitions into this like main melody idea we had in the very beginning of the song. And then it transitions back to the beginning, right? That's actually so cool. Right here? This transition, it's... Going back to the neoclassical mood and then having this little dramatic switch to bring in a bit of a new element, a new story twist before going back to the pre-chorus and chorus. That's just some really nice, you know, musical storytelling in my opinion. Yeah, I mean, it's always those songs which just hit me atmospherically in some sense, which I totally like to take a closer look at, right? To analyze like what they're even doing there. And just this is a really great example. One of my favorite solo sections is the way it's constructed, the story it's telling, like atmospherically and everything. Just everything sits with this. But I also realized that the song, even though the chorus doesn't have the strongest melody, I think like the chorus melody might be one of the weakest elements of the song, if not the weakest. But still, even the chorus has just this phenomenally upbeat, catchy, energetic vibes to it. I mean... the amount of energy that's into this. So this is really like, you know, prime Galneryus here. They're also like making the most out of, you know, Show's vocal style and everything. Really cool. So yeah, I hope you had a bit of fun with this first step into the Phoenix Rising album. There's gonna be a lot of great tracks following after this. Before moving on to the lyrics, like little word about the album cover, because to be honest, it always had a bit unremarkable to me, because this is specific art style, you know, this drawn, painted type of thing. It seems to be very common, didn't seem very original to me. I don't know, it never stood out to me, although it looks cool, of course, don't get me wrong. You have like dark clouds there in the top. You would imagine this being like the base state, which was before the Phoenix was reawakened. So everything was just darkened by these clouds. And then we have, of course, like this rather bright fire there at the bottom, and then the Phoenix rising out of that. So there isn't much to say about it, actually. It's like really simple, you know, imagery. I think like the energy and the chaos of this sparking fire is contained really well in like Tear Off Your Chain, where you just have this idea of we're having this like boundless energy rising, moving chaotically into all directions because it can't be contained. Really cool stuff. Yeah, but that's all we're gonna say about that. Interestingly, you know, the intro song is called The Rising, And the outro song is called The Phoenix. See what you did there? That's what Shu screams here, I suppose. I'll rise again with all of you. Now I have nothing to fight, but I must survive. We'll rise again with our brave hearts. Let's take your swords of heart once again. The heart of Phoenix will be awakened. We'll all survive. It's the rising of the Phoenix. I mean, I guess, and like, of course, hopefully, it's gonna touch onto those fantasy themes again. It reminds me, like, mood-wise, definitely a bit of the first albums. I also have no freaking clue what they're talking about here, right? And now I have nothing to fight, but I must survive. What? I mean, it could even be something like, we have solved all our major issues and now we're just thriving at the moment, right? We're perhaps in one of our best phases of the band also. But I must survive, like the spirit has to keep going because we have to put out new music. Damn it. So we have to see what we can do about that, right? So perhaps something like this. Yeah, that's pretty much it about this song. Also cool, like starts with guitar solo. That's how we enjoy it. I feel so good seeing you raise your hands and shake your body all night long. Let me tell you something that's out band. Let's sing and dance all night long. So you can kind of see like pretty much a party song. So I wouldn't have imagined that. I thought it had a bit more of a different theme, but okay. I can do magic of miracles. I'll take you to the heaven. I will give you blissful time. You'll be livened. So essentially so far it's just about making an enjoyable concert, I guess. Are you tired of your life? Do you feel really so? You've met me now. Do not think about the strange things. But you made a racket and enjoy your night. Just like me, shout as always, power, devour. So that's the high scream he does there. I'm not gonna imitate that. You've met me now, so we probably again have show perspective here. Yeah, you know who I am now. After this first album, do not think about the strange things. This might be a bit of like darker foreshadowing, but so far like this whole thing, right, it's really long. It's just about, I'm gonna provide you a great time with the music, I guess. And here's the chorus. Let's make noise more and more. You can forget your pain. I can't wait anymore. You don't need to refrain. Let's make noise more and more. It doesn't come again. You must tear off your chain, shake your brain. I think this is already what we had in the Rising we just looked at, and also here there is just a certain theme that, you know, the music is supposed to have some therapeutic effect or is supposed to help people like dealing with their life struggles or something. Here you can forget your pain, so it's getting lost in the moment for a bit through the music, so you can like forget about other struggles which are a problem. Let's make noise more and more, and you must tear off your chain, shake your brain. So this is really an idea in the song, this up and down roller coaster type of movement, this chaos revolving around that. There's just so much energy pumped in that it just makes all stable known structures explode. You can totally see that musically. So verse 2, do you want to explore the end of the time? I'll take you to the haven. Oh, I will give you blissful time. You will be livened. You say, I do not like myself. Really so? You've met me now. Do not think about the strange things. So I think the strange things, it might be just a weird translation. It might just be like a general term for like all things which just don't align with this theme of having a good time at a concert or listening to the music. But you make a record and enjoy your night. Just like me, shout as always, stand up, get up. So I think the only interesting element which has been added here is, do you want to explore the end of time? I'll take you to the haven. Perhaps again, foreshadowing. I can't really tell like what the end of the time is. And also, yeah, here you say, I do not like myself. Really so? You've met me now. It could also be just saying something like, you've seen like my transition. I had a lot of anxiety coming into this band. I tried to get a real member and to bring some real value to the band, right? And I'm just on this journey now. Look at this and just take this process as an example, perhaps. That could be like one idea. And the chorus, let's make noise more and more. You can forget your strain. I can't wait anymore. You don't need to obtain. Let's make noise more and more. It doesn't come again. You must tear off your chain. And then we have this completely bonkers awesome solo, instrumental break and solo, right? Pre-chorus. Are you tired of your life? Do you feel really so? You've met me now. Do not think about the strange things, but you make a record and enjoy your night. Just like me, shout as always, power, devour. And then this extremely high scream. Nothing new, and let's see if the chorus has changed in any way. Let's make noise more and more. You can forget your pain. I can't wait anymore. You don't need to refrain. Let's make noise more and more. It doesn't come again. You must tear off your chain, shake your brain. Let's make noise more and more. You can't forget your stain. I can't wait anymore. You don't need to obtain. Let's make noise more more and more. It doesn't come again. You must tear off your chain. So 2 times chorus. It just repeated essentially the first version of the chorus and the second version of the chorus there in one big piece. And that's the song. And that's great and all. You don't see by who it's written. I would just assume it's written by Shu. Perhaps Shu and Yuki. I don't know. Lyrics probably by Sho. Yeah, so it wasn't quite what I expected. Like, I thought they might have had a thematic shift, but it's like really this early Sho style of writing lyrics, which we have here again. We'll have to see how this is gonna develop. But yeah, honestly, like, if themes like this produce this type of music, I'm like completely satisfied. I don't know why. This is really nostalgic. We're entering a really nostalgic era for me. So while I enjoy the Yamabi era, and I actually have a slight edge toward, you know, Yamabi's, like, not only his vocal style, but also his lyrical style, but also just the atmospheres they had there. I'm just like really nostalgic for like this period, like with Phoenix Rising, Angel of Salvation, Under the Flag of Courage and all of that stuff. So that's really my time. So yeah, hope you could get a bit of enjoyment out of this little episode. And if so, I hope we're gonna meet next time with Future Never Dies. And I really have to look, because there's probably a music video. I think it might even have been Future Never Dies, which is already the music video. So if so, be excited about that. I think I'm gonna take a nap in the freezer right now or something.